there we find the Legend of Pigeon Man. He takes him, gets him healthy, and then we go from there. So boys, I would love to know your thoughts about this episode.
Oh man.
No pressure.
I often I remember seeing this as a kid, but the cool part about revisiting these episodes is those oh yeah moments.
Mm-hmm.
And as an adult, I kind of felt like the Pigeon Man at times, like misunderstood. Often I smell like a bird. And I hang out on rooftops while children tell stories and get their shit everywhere. It was a joy to kind of revisit this episode. What about you, Ty?
For me, watching the episode was one experience, and then going behind the scenes and learning about some stuff. Oh man. So I don't know if you knew this, but Chester the Pigeon was voiced by Craig Bartlett, the creator.
Really?
And not only that, but Pigeon Man was basically designed by and was even like a character of the voice actor. What was his name? Vincent Schiavelli.
Oh.
And so if you look at him, he's got like that super sad looking face. And there's another fun fact I want to share afterwards. There was some creepypasta around this episode that I'll share as we get towards the end. Basically some like conspiracy theories.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Got you.
So
as a kid, I always wanted to have a 5 o'clock shadow like that. Like, I don't understand how it was like a very Simpsons-esque 5 o'clock shadow, right? I was very envious of it, and I still can't do it. It's like a 6 o'clock shadow now. Like, I just skip right past it. So jealous for anyone who can pull that off. Good for you, Pigeon Man.
Hey guys, it's your host, Julian. This week I sit down with the hosts of one of my favorite new podcasts, Whiskeylodeon, a drunk rewatch podcast where hosts Ty and Sean deep dive into our favorite Nickelodeon shows while pairing a signature cocktail for each episode. I for sure had an absolute blast with this one. Follow us as we get into the weeds and chat Pigeon Man on this episode and Arnold's Christmas on their show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy us as we bro it up and chit-chat about Nickelodeon's greatest show, Hey Arnold. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What's in My Head podcast. I'm your host, Julian, and today I'm joined by the hosts of Whiskeylodeon, Mr. Sean, Mr. Ty. Sean, Ty, how are you?
What's up, dude?
Hey.
So for a little bit of context, ladies and gentlemen here, they host this amazing show called Whiskeylodeon where they get absolutely hammered and watch cartoons that we all loved growing up on Nickelodeon. How I found these guys was just scrolling through, just looking for something to listen to on old Spotify or Apple Music, one of those two. And they had a psychologist break down the Helga on the Couch episode, and I was hooked after this. When I say these guys get loaded, they have a signature whiskey drink for every episode. They pair it like a sommelier. That might be the first time I've said that word here on this podcast. So you're welcome. But they pair it with an episode, and then they just dive deep into the episode. So boys, I want to know, man, how did you guys come up with Whiskeylodeon?
Oh, Ty, you want to take this one?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So Whiskeylodeon started as a hangout, in which case we were going over watching Nickelodeon and then making whiskey cocktails, having just different whiskey bottles. And it was just a way for us to hang out. Mm-hmm. I think the first time we were watching Rugrats, all that, Good Burger, and then we've done it a few more times. And so when...
In pajamas. That was...
Pajamas, yeah, we also wore pajamas.
Big rule.
It was amazing. And so I had approached Sean about doing a podcast, and the original idea was to do like a drunk history meets how did this get made with opera. Mm-hmm. So we would basically be drunk trying to describe what we're watching in opera because we have no idea what they're actually saying.
We still don't.
To be fair. and we're like, that's too niche. And so Sean was like, why don't we just do Whiskeylodeon? We already done it as a party. Let's just bring the party to everyone else.
Let's just put microphones in front of our faces while we do it.
Yes. And that's what inspired it.
It's like I said, man, I was so bummed when you guys took a break for season 1 to season 2. Like, I get it. I understand why. I was so bummed because being in the kitchen, I don't know if you guys want to know what it's like to be in a kitchen, not you guys in particular, but you guys out there that are listening and watching this, you guys want to know how depressing it is to be in a kitchen. Just look up a show called The Bear on Hulu. It's a phenomenal show. So good. And you understand just like why there's a back of the house and why there's a separation from the front of the house, because you've got people that just we want to please as many people as we possibly can. But at the end of the day, we're just not very good at talking or conversing with the front of the house and making them want to come back. It's usually a lot of fuck offs, get out of my face, just shit like that, man. So listening to you guys over the last couple months has been like a real bright spot. I love the chemistry you guys have together, because I hear so many shows that'll have multiple, hosts on, and everybody's talking over each other, or everybody's trying to get their shit in, wrestling term, if you guys are wrestling fans. So it's very hard to find or listen to a show that has or not even a co-host, excuse me, because you guys are, both banging this out together. But just seeing the chemistry and the ebbs and flows that you guys have is just phenomenal, man. So I really enjoy that. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say hijack in a sense that they're taking over this show, but we're doing a little bit of their format because I find it so fun. So we picked 2 episodes from my favorite show on Nickelodeon was Hey Arnold. If it wouldn't be for Hey Arnold, I liked Rocket Power. I loved all that. There was some shows that Rugrats was great. I loved Nickelodeon, but I didn't love it as much as Cartoon Network. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I mean, I got Plushy Plank sitting in the background from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Almost my entire catalog for the first year was AKA Studios, which did the Ed, Edd and Eddy show. So
if it makes you feel any better, we do plan on doing a companion podcast called Cocktail Network.
Oh man, you know how many dick pics you guys are gonna get sent to you for Cocktail?
We can only hope. A guy can dream.
So what email address do you want the dick pic sent? I don't even want to put that out there because I feel bad for kind of putting that energy. You guys,
I think it's Ty Longworth 69 42069 nice at wienerpic.com.
Dick pics, send them there. But that's going to be really cool, man. I'm looking forward to that companion piece. I think that's, like I said, I think you guys are onto something with this, because a lot of people are depressed as it is. So like, why not escape, right? Why not drink? Why not smoke a little weed and enjoy the stuff? I love you guys' intro too, man, when you guys were little dudes, man. So it's just, this is such a cool concept. And like I said, we took 2 Arnold episodes. So you guys will listen to this one and then you guys will go over to Whiskeylodeon. Now, are you guys on video for this season, or are you guys just audio for this season?
Just audio for this season.
Oh man, I can't wait till you guys get up on video.
It's just going to be squirrely eyes the whole time. We're,
you know how many people are going to love it?
Yeah, we won't be able to see them, but yes.
So we picked 2 episodes, man. So the one that meant the most to me, and they both mean a real lot to me. As you get older, they kind of have different meanings. And Arnold's Christmas is the one you guys are going to be covering. But the one that I'm going to be covering, or will we be covering on this show, is Pigeon Man. And the reason I picked this one, I've told this story to an extent, but I don't think it's out there. So just give a little context before we dive into this episode review. I see this episode 96, so I'm 7 years old, give or take. And speaking of, you guys have the signature cocktail. We got to mention that one too. So what is the signature cocktail for this one?
So because we're covering Hey Arnold, we have decided to go the route of Miriam Pataki.
Thank you, Miriam.
We have a peach blueberry boozy smoothie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man. Blueberries in season for the next couple of weeks too, ladies and gentlemen. So
yeah, so we got peaches, blueberries, we got some lemon juice, we got some mint, and then we are using Henry McKenna sour mash bourbon as far as the boozy part.
Man, it's definitely in there. It's 100% in there.
We were making it, and I was like, all right, cool. I've got the smoothie consistency I need. And then I poured in the whiskey. And by the time I mixed it in, it was like suddenly not as smoothie. I was like, oh no, I put too much.
And just to be on the safe side, we have our side piece as well that, evens things out.
Yeah.
So we have, what is this? Old Forester 10 year?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
All right.
Delicious.
Beautiful. So we got that one out there. And do you guys post the recipes on any of your sites if people want to make it ahead of time?
We will. So this season, we're going to be posting on Instagram, in which case we'll have a picture, we'll have the recipe, and maybe if I can make something happen with an editor, we'll make a video out of it.
Ooh, even better, man. So keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen, for that one. So the episode we're going to be covering from my side is Pigeon Man. And like I said, for the companion piece, the second piece, the standalone piece for Arnold's Christmas, Jesus Christ, I'm not drinking. I'm starting to slur. The weed hasn't kicked in yet.
It's secondhand drinking through the videos.
It's the fumes for sure. Make sure you guys go over to their feed, and all those links will be in here so you can click them and go straight to their page. Make sure you follow and subscribe so you never miss an episode or you never miss a post from these guys. Pigeon Man, right? So a little bit of context. I see this episode 7-8 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
My sister gets involved with the guy. They're still married. He's an all right guy. But I'm over at his house, right? And he used to live with his mom. This is a couple years after high school and shit. And I see a pigeon, right, sitting on the driveway sidewalk, whatever you want to call it. He looked really weird, man. He was dragging his wing, and I was like, something wrong with that bird, right? So I look at my sister, Shelly. I'm like, Shelly, there's something wrong with that bird. What's going on? She's like, well, go catch it. She just didn't think I was going to catch it. So I just walked up to the bird. He looked at me like pigeons look at you. And then I picked him up. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, I got this bird in my hand, right? And then he had a little, what is it called? Like a little piece of paper, right? Just in case if he gets lost. Had it on there. Call him, right? The guy's like, dude, I've been looking for this bird for weeks. He was like, where are you? And I'm like, oh, here. And he's like, I'm 5 minutes away. Please hold on to the bird. No problem. Comes over. And then my mom's here picking me up because I'd spent the weekend with my sister. And he was like, dude, I've been looking for these birds. Come to find out, this guy races these birds. Like they would have some kind of like race, I guess, in Orlando, Florida. That's where I'm at, where Nickelodeon died. So,
the old Pigeon 500. Yeah.
Yes. Just south of Daytona Beach.
Right in there.
Yeah. I was just in Charlotte a couple weeks ago, and I saw the NASCAR. What was it called? The NASCAR. I didn't go because
the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we were right across the street. My wife had a retail convention we had to go to, so I was on baby patrol. So I just
wait. You were in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, I didn't.
Our backyard.
Yes.
And you didn't say hey.
No, I was only there for like a day and a half, 2 days. So it was a very quick turnaround. I was on baby duty. I wanted to, but I was just like, man,
I got a baby. Oh, honey, I want to do a play date. I want to make sure this 1-year-old can get interaction with the 4-year-old.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. It's like, hey, honey, I know you want my child out of your hair. I'm going to take him to a pizza party with booze. And I didn't tell her about the booze. But
I'll bring my dog.
Yeah.
I'll bring mine too. I got this. Not the one that shit all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, there's some context to that story too. Shit all over the place, but I won't bring him. I'll bring the good one. But yeah, we were up there. It was a quick turnaround, man. I was going to text. I literally had you guys. I was going to message you on Instagram. Like, man, I don't know. I don't want to bother. I don't want to seem weird because a lot of people get weird with that type of shit. They're like, yeah, man, we've only talked through Instagram. We've only talked through Facebook. There's been a few people that have been in my neck of the woods. I'm like, hey, we should meet up. They're like, yeah, cool. And then they ghost me for 6 weeks. And then it's just really, really weird. So I'm like, next time.
We only ghost for like 4 to 5 weeks. We want to keep you on your toe beans, you know? Yeah, big turn.
We're reasonable with our ghosting.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be in Charlotte again here. I want to come back because that's a place I could live. I've never been to Charlotte before. I've driven all the way through South Carolina. I've been across this country, across this world. Charlotte is a place that I could put down roots. It's a fucking beautiful city. And the homeless people weren't super aggressive. I only saw one pile that we're talking about shit. So I only saw one pile of homeless man shit. And I saw a street not a musician. Jesus Christ, I'm starting to slur. Jesus fuck.
He's a magician or musician?
A magician.
He's doing street magic.
Yes, I saw my first street magician, and he was dope as shit. I was trying to follow him around to see how he was doing the tricks. I was like, dude, here's $10. I want to see you do the trick again. He's like, nah, man, I only do it once. And I was like, fucking liar. So I followed him around, and then I saw him do it again. I was like, oh man, I almost caught it. And then he saw me over the shoulder, so he wouldn't do that trick again. I'm like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. I never saw him again. So like I said, it was a quick turnaround. But
he was a real magician. Clearly, he disappeared.
Dude, it wasn't too hot either. But he was in like you remember Run DMC, and they had the track suits. We had a blue.
Oh yeah.
Dude, and it was zipped all the way down. It followed the route to his dick. So it was just an arrow pointing down, man. He just burly chest and shit. Like he was a skinny guy, but he had hair all over the place, walking around, no draws on, and then just, oh man, it was great. Smoking a Black and Mild. So he was just in front of the kids. It was great, man.
If you started with that part of the story, I would have been like, were you in Charlotte?
So yes, but to get back on track, man. So I call this guy, and then he was like, I would love to give you a pigeon. Thank you so much. This is one of my favorite birds. Found out he had a whole bunch of them. And I looked at my mom, and she's like, absolutely fucking not. We're not getting the pigeon. I'm like, dude, come on. I've always wanted a pigeon. I love these fucking birds. I don't know what it is. Like pigeons and pelicans, man. I love looking at them. So a couple years later, I get a little bit older. I start having a little bit more responsibilities. And then my mom takes me to a bird shop. It wasn't a pigeon bird shop because those don't exist. And if they do, you got to watch those people. But she's like, you could pick any bird here. And they had cockatiels, right? Hand fed from a little baby, from a little egg. You know, you hold them. And then I heard him before I saw him, right? And I hear, and he was literally upside down like a bat, swinging back and forth on the perch. And I was like, I want that one. I don't give a shit what it is. I want that one that's different. So we took him home. I named him Nacho because I was a fat kid, still a fat kid. And I love food. So he had these rosy yellow cheeks. So I was like, Nacho, that's a great
word. For life.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So I have this bird because of Pigeon Man. And another funny story about this bird is I listened to Ed, Ed, and Eddie every morning when I was getting ready for school. So for an entire year, this bird was inundated. He was waterboarded with the theme song of Ed, Ed, and Eddie for an entire school year. First day of summer comes around. Like I said, I would get up at 5:30 at 6 o'clock to get ready for school. This little asshole would whistle every fucking morning for summer. Every morning.
Yes.
Right. He could only do the whistling part and shit, but it was still pretty cool. I had him for a couple months, then my brother let him out by accident. But there's a bird out there, ladies and gentlemen, if you find a cockatiel, about 20 years old, if he's still alive, he will whistle the entire Ed, Ed, and Eddie theme song. But I don't get that bird. I don't have that story. I don't have that bird that whistles that song without seeing the episode Pigeon Man, right? I see Arnold take his bird, Chester, sick, takes him. Not only does Gerald absolutely crush it with the fucking storytelling, Sid sets him up perfectly, tells an amazing story about this guy that might just be a crazy dude in a chicken suit that likes to hang out with birds. Who knows? Hook for, or a beak for a nose. But he's got these thousands of pigeons in 10 minutes. We'll have to switch over. I have to send you the part 2. And there we find the legend of Pigeon Man. He takes him, gets him healthy.
Do you like Nickelodeon?
Do you like whiskey or whiskey cocktails?
Then you should hang out with us. I'm Ty.
I'm Sean.
And we run Whiskeylodeon The Podcast.
Ty, what is this podcast about?
It's where we drink whiskey or whiskey cocktails while rewatching the old school Nickelodeon shows we loved growing up.
And let's be honest, we go on a lot of tangents.
So many tangents. Are we on a tangent right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh, well, we gotta get back. We are covering Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Are You Afraid of the Dark, all the golden greats of Nickelodeon.
And these shows give us so much joy.
And we want to bring you that same joy. So find us wherever you get your podcasts at Whiskeylodeon.
And I gotta cut you off right now because we honestly cannot afford any more ad space, and it really just kind of has to end right.
And then we go from there. So boys, I would love to know your thoughts about this episode.
Oh man.
No pressure.
I often I remember seeing this as a kid, but the cool part about revisiting these episodes is those oh yeah moments.
Mm-hmm.
And as an adult, I kind of felt like the Pigeon Man at times, like misunderstood. Often I smell like a bird. And I hang out on rooftops while children tell stories and get their shit everywhere. It was a joy to kind of revisit this episode. What about you, Ty?
For me, watching the episode was one experience, and then going behind the scenes and learning about some stuff. Oh man. So I don't know if you knew this, but Chester the pigeon was voiced by Craig Bartlett, the creator.
Really?
And not only that, but Pigeon Man was basically designed by and was even like a caricature of the voice actor. What was his name? Vincent Schiavelli. Oh. And so if you look at him, he's got like that super sad looking face. And there's another fun fact I want to share afterwards. There was some creepypasta around this episode that I'll share as we get towards the end. Basically some like conspiracy theories.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I got you.
So
as a kid, I always wanted to have a 5 o'clock shadow like that. Like, I don't understand how it was like a very Simpsons-esque 5 o'clock shadow, right? I was very envious of it, and I still can't do it. It's like a 6 o'clock shadow now. Like, I just skip right past it. So jealous for anyone who can pull that off. Good for you, Pigeon Man.
I believe if you just take steroids, not only will your testicles, I hate that fucking word too, nuts. Like, I don't understand. Like, I go in
steroids or testicles?
Both.
Yes.
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 You go to the doctor and you get a physical, and then, I had pulled my groin or something like that. And this is why this show is called the What's in My Head podcast, because there's no, other than a couple things, God damn, getting all choked up here. Other than a couple things that I've written down from this episode, my thoughts and everything like that, I really don't know where it's going to go. There's no script. There's no nothing. Even though I'm looking at some shit I'm going to read off here in a little bit, there's no real script. But you go into a doctor and I pull my groin. I'm like, oh man, I might have a hernia. They're like, well, where does it hurt? I was like, right by my nuts. And he's like, well, you mean testicles, right? I'm like, I'm not 9 years old. No, I mean nuts. And they're like, well, that's kind of a rude term. I'm like, dude, I've seen these things at ERs where sex sent me to the ER where somebody took a champagne bottle and shoved it up their ass and it blew up. You mean to tell me you're not going to sit up here and say, hey, he got a champagne up his ass? You're going to say the technical terms? He was like, well, I mean, I might. I'm like, what the fuck you? Don't lie.
It was a Prosecco up the anus. All right.
It's only anus if it's in the Prosecco region of France.
Yes. That's true.
That blows my mind because that's like, hey, like nuts is like the N word for balls. It's like, no, it's not. You know why? Because you said fucking nuts. Oh man.
Jesus Christ, man. But anyways, who knew that when they come to see this episode, not only were we going to talk about a pigeon, a cockatiel, two dudes that like to get hammered and watch Nickelodeon, champagne bottles and asses, dick pics getting sent to Ty's email address. I mean, we're going all over. We're taking, if there was a demographic, we hit every single one of them, boys. I mean, I think we could.
Yeah.
We can.
If you're playing bingo at home, you are winning right now.
You guys should do that because I hear so many people that they'll do, and we'll get back to Hannah in just a second, but they'll do like games. Since you guys, alcohol is a big part of your show, you guys should set up a bingo. So if Ty says this, or if Sean does this, or something like that, something that you guys can repeatedly do. Like you hear all the time, like people write at me, it's like, man, you sure say this a lot, or you sure do this a lot, or you sure say this story a lot. See if you guys can do a drinking game. Every time Sean does this, every time Ty does this, you got to take a shot.
Well, Julian, it's funny you should mention that because Ty, what do we have?
We have a bingo card.
Dude, do I get a producer credit or is this beforehand?
This was beforehand.
We're still going to give you producer credit. Absolutely.
But it's like if Ty sings an episode, there's a point. And so it's less about, hey, take a shot because people would die. It's more so it's like, if you win, let us know. Talk to us. We're lonely. And that's where it's at. But we do have a little bingo card for episodes, and we got to figure out a way to kind of mix it up to where it's like it's not just all the same card. Mm-hmm. So if it's like when you download it, it just jumbles it up. That would make it perfect. But yeah, we have it.
Oh, it's in the works, man. So I can't wait. I mean, I'll take it. Oh, fuck, I would be on Pluto, especially last couple strains I've gotten.
It's the best planet of all of them.
I mean, it depends if you ask Neil deGrasse Tyson, because it's not really a planet. Then
he can go fuck himself. I love the guy.
I love you, Neil.
Pluto will always.
But
be
on this subject, go fuck yourself. All the way to Pluto and back. Pluto. See, Pluto. That's the whiskey talking.
Like, I know when it's kicking in now. But if you go and you look at any of his tweets, that's the first thing. That's generally the first comment that anybody does for any of his posts. He doesn't even have to be talking about planets. He'd just be talking about a mathematical equation. He's like, fuck you for declassifying Pluto. And he was like, it was a team. It wasn't just me. He was like, fuck you. You're
the influential man. How dare you, Neil?
So getting back to Hey Arnold, man, there was a line in there that I absolutely picked out. Not only is Harold a dick for fucking up, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen this episode, they fuck up Pigeon Man, and no fault of their own. I love the silliness of a kid. He's like, you know what we should do? We should go put his bird seed from one bag into another bag so it'll fuck with his brain. So you think it's like, oh man, this guy's really, really dumb, but that's funny. That's that little what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little gag they put in there. I thought that was really funny. But there was a line in there that Pigeon Man had actually used, man. It was hard to trust people. There's good people out there. Or it's I think Arnold used this one. Yeah, Arnold and Pigeon Man, excuse me. But he was like, it's hard to trust people. And Arnold was like, there's good people out there too. And there was a couple lines in here that I took out and then I wrote that I thought this show goes so much deeper than just a kid's show, especially watching this almost 20 years later. I mean, this episode's almost 30 years old. Right. So watching this, not only does it still hold up, but the message is in there that people are the real monsters. And then it's stuff like a pigeon or a bird, something that doesn't have an ulterior motives. He's not trying to fuck you out of money. He's not trying to do something. He's not trying to hurt you. He's just being and doing what pigeons do, man. I thought there was something beautiful about that episode. I don't know if you guys got that, but I'd love to hear your opinion on that too.
Hey, Arnold really knows how to dabble in the gray. Mm-hmm. It's just not black and white. And I mean, you said it really well. I just think we've watched multiple episodes at this point for the podcast, and Hey Arnold, like just every time I watch, I'm like, how, like I was entertained as a kid, mm-hmm. and now I'm getting profound messages as an adult, and still enjoying it. It's still entertaining, of course. Mm-hmm. This episode, I mean, and we'll talk about the Christmas one in the next one, but like, whew, little bit of tears happened. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm gonna go ahead and just preface this for those that are watching the video and you see me looking over. I'm actually in the
I just
same room
realized
as
that.
Sean, and so like when I'm looking at him, I'm like looking at him talk, and I'm like, wait, they think I'm just looking off screen. No, he's right there. This show had layers. So for me, going all the way back to the beginning, I mean, you had the pigeons, Lester, Fester, and Chester, and you're like, oh, cool, he's sending messenger pigeons out to get a baseball game going. Like this, like he has a phone, but he'd rather send that. And so, of course, people are all making fun of him. It's like, you don't use a telephone, but this was the 90s. Those phone calls were expensive. And then not to mention, he lived with so many people in that apartment.
Yeah, there was no group chat.
Yeah, there was no group chat. But when he's sitting there trying to figure out how to get his bird to the vet, and that's when someone mentions Pigeon Man. I think it was Sid who was like, "You're just taking the Pigeon Man," and everyone's, "Oh,
yeah."
And Phoebe, innocent Phoebe, she's like, "Who's the Pigeon Man?" And that's when Cheryl was like, "Sid, set me up," and they had this rehearsed. Yes. This had been done before, from kid generation to kid generation, and they go in about how they don't know. This is after the fire of '69. This apartment building had just been sitting there, and nice. I originally thought that, hey, Arnold, I originally thought that this was taking place in New York. So the fact that I was like, so you've had this burnt complex sitting there. No. New York would have torn that shit down. No. This takes place in Washington. I think it was like Hillsborough, Washington, I think is what it was. But that made so much more sense to me. But yeah. Oh, what do you got?
You can't see it. No, fucking light. God, there we go.
Yeah, Sean 1 ties 0.
Ooh,
he said the fire of '69, and he was like, nice.
Hey-oh.
But yeah, so Arnold's not afraid of what he's heard. Like, I mean, Pigeon Man's depicted as either being an alien that was hatched from an egg and left by aliens, or as a guy in a chicken suit, so deranged that he just wants to hang out with pigeons. But either way, people were terrified of him.
So we're going to talk conspiracy theories here in just a second. However, do you think that's where they got? Now, this is a completely different show. Do you think that's where Family? And we are back after a oversight on my part. So do you think the chicken suit was led into Seth MacFarlane's chicken fight with Peter and Family Guy? You think he was sitting there watching old Craig Bartlett show?
You know, there might be something there to it, because to kind of go to another show, Rugrats, we just covered in season 2, the first episode, we covered A Barbecue Story, in which case Tommy gets that ball, that classic ball with the star on it. That's the same ball that they use in Toy Story and Pixar.
Really?
Really? So I would not be surprised if that was connected somehow.
A lot of breeding. I would say there's like these television shows were having sex with each other.
A lot of cross-pollinating.
Cross-pollinating. That's what I meant to say. There was just semen,
sticky,
like that sprinkler hose. Just.
I was getting ready to do the sound effects. I'm glad you beat me to it. I don't think it would go as fast because it's very, very thick and it's got some viscosity to it. You know what I mean?
It does have viscosity, and that I didn't realize it. That might be one of my favorite words.
Yeah, just because
that and lollygag.
Man, I hope they're having as much fun as I am, because I was looking. I've been
having a blast.
Forward to this one for a couple weeks, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go back to some of the other notes that I have had written down. I wish I had better handwriting, I can tell you that. But another one that I had picked out, not only was this one written by Joe Purdy, it was directed by Jamie Mitchell, man. Joe Purdy. So and I'm going to butcher his name on here. And unfortunately, I will never be able to release these episodes because that laptop that was on, I took them off of Google Drive, put them on my hard drive because I figured it was a safe place to have it. My laptop ended up getting stolen. And I lost my Joe Ancelabari here. Hey Arnold, he helped bring Rugrats. He also
and Salabahir.
Yeah, I'm gonna just agree with you because I'm not gonna try to pronounce it again because I would look dumber than I already do. So I had him on 2 separate occasions. I was supposed to bring him back on. Him and Paul Germain are supposed to come back on. We're supposed to do a whole episode on Recess. It just sucks.
Yes,
he had put some. It's a great show. He had just put some really cool information out there, and he was talking about how Joe Purdy was such a phenomenal writer. Right? He wrote this, and then what you were talking about. What'd you call it? Pasta theory?
Creepypasta.
Creepypasta. Do you know where the origin of that name came from?
I don't. I was calling it a conspiracy theory, and Sean was like, no, that's called creepypasta. And I've heard of it, but I'm like, I like pasta. I don't want it to be creepy.
It was like the early beginnings of the internet, like MySpace, like top 8, getting in those wars when you move someone around, like to number 7 and number 6. Yeah, that's when creepypasta, I think, started.
With your hair, man, you know what we should do? I'm a redheaded dude. I'm chunky, so I could be Little Pete. You could be Big Pete. We could do a...
I always wanted to be Big Pete. This is a dream.
Yeah, I had him on too. And then that same episode was, and I was way like, dude, I just came off like a 16-hour day. Just found out my wife was pregnant with our second kid. And I looked at him like halfway through. I looked at him, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry this podcast sucks. And he's like, no, man, you're doing all right. And he's like, no, this is dog shit. Like my brain is rattled. He was like, dude, you just found out you're gonna be a dad again. I was like, yeah. Just stop giving me a reason to seem better than I am.
Stop justifying my feelings.
Yes. I was like, I'm a piece of shit. I should have done better. He was phenomenal.
We should send you our unreleased episodes, and it would make you feel better.
Well, I would love to send the ones that I have unreleased. I've only got 3 that are unreleased, I think 3 or 4, but all of them were on that laptop that was stolen. Never leave your backpack unattended on college campus. Cunts, I tell you, cunts. But anyways, man, so there was this, like I said, Joe Purdy. Joe had said how great of a writer he was. And it's just, you go back in almost every episode that I absolutely love. And there's not one Hey Arnold episode that I love, but ranking them is very difficult. And ranking all of them, I found out like, oh shit, Joe Purdy's got like 9 out of 10 as far as written episodes go in my rankings for Hey Arnold. So I want to give him a shout out. Phenomenal writer, man. But one of the lines that stuck out to me the most, and I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but was when Hey Arnold and Pigeon Man are up on top of the roof, and it's right after Harold and the gang came over and just destroyed fucking his bird's home. And he was like, Arnold was like, man, the birds will come back. And then Pigeon Man's, of course they'll come back. They're birds. I trust them. I understand them. It's people I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Like that line, just that last part of that line is people I don't understand, man. Now more than ever, I can sit there and say, fuck, dude, I'm more Pigeon Man than anything, dude. I just don't understand people. I don't understand the way they think. You know, maybe your psychologist could break this down on a future episode, just how people think. But it's fucking, like you were saying earlier, it's so fascinating how you can be entertained as such a little kid. And then you watch this 20 plus years later and you're fucking moved to damn near tears, like breaking down. Like, I understand Pigeon Man. I believe, you know, and then I'm pretty sure the moment you're talking about with the creepypasta was him ascending into the light, almost like Jesus Christ.
Before we get there, you're bringing up the psychology. And so let's bring it back to where this started. Mm-hmm. Arnold, of course, is so happy that he's got his pigeon and he's wanting to know more. He's wanting to connect with Pigeon Man. When he found out his name is Vincent, he's like, oh, I mean, you can call me Pigeon Man, but my name's Vincent. Mm-hmm. And he went to the same school Arnold went to. Arnold has the same teacher that Vincent had. And you just kind of have this humanizing thing. And of course, Pigeon Man's like, look, I'd rather just be with pigeons. Mm-hmm. I know them. I trust them. They trust me. Like, people are awful. And he's like, but don't you miss, like, friends? Don't you miss pizza? And he's like, ooh, I do miss pizza. And so Arnold treats him, takes him to a pizza shop. And I love how he's like, you know, I love the mushroom, but the pineapple is weird. So glad you brought it up.
I legit paused the episode at that moment because there is something about like cartoon food that always makes me hungry. So I pause, I go to the pantry, I grab a shit ton of snacks. I'm like, okay, now we can resume this episode.
But it's as he's taking Vincent out, Pigeon Man out to get pizza, that's when you have Harold, Stinky, and Joey, I think was his name. Yeah. I never remember his name. But anyways, they're jealous. They're like, what does Arnold see in Pigeon Man? Like he's mad that he's not getting attention. So that's why he's lashing out, is that he's like, this person is weird and he shouldn't be getting this attention. I should. So we should mess with them. I should get even.
Yeah.
He's taking something away from me. Mm-hmm. And so that's when they go there. And originally they just started with just like, we'll just mess things around. But then they fucked up. They grabbed the bird feed. They grabbed that bird feed, started throwing this around, and the pigeons are like, bitch, we hungry. And they chase them, and they think they're coming for them for ruining the house. No, they just want that food.
Yeah.
And it just tears the whole thing down. So what was originally just like, oh, we just wanted to just do some light vandalism, ended up being a terrorist attack. And it started from jealousy.
Mhm.
It started from feeling like I'm not getting the attention I deserve. This weird person that I don't understand is getting it. So I'm gonna fuck with them.
Oh yeah. It just goes to show you. Now, there's a few scenes that I wanted to point out, and I'm so glad you brought it back to the humanizing point, because I don't know where I've heard it. It's not mine. I know I've heard it somewhere else, but I drew the correlation when you were talking about humanizing Pigeon Man to Arnold, that they're not so different after all, right? So, like I said, I can't remember who said it, but like if you want to take a Batman and a Joker in a sense, we're one bad day away from being a Joker. Right. Anybody can be a Joker. Anybody can be. I mean, I don't know if you want your parents dead and you've got $1 billion or $1 trillion and you want to dress up like a bat or a vigilante and beat the shit out of people. But we're one bad day away from being what a lot of people fear. Like growing up, never had a fear of like, oh man, what happens if I lose my job? What happens if I lose my house? What happens if I lose my family? Right. But seeing these shows that I used to love, so like Stoop Kid is a very big thing. Like,
oh my gosh,
you got Stoop Kid, you got Pigeon Man, you've got fucking Dino Spumoni after he is washed up and gone. What is the baseball player? Oh fuck,
Ooh,
I can't remember that. You could be fucking Oscar, right? You could be any of these characters that aren't technically main characters that have lost their way, and that's why they've ended up here. And one thing that I've absolutely been terrified of as I've grown older is being a pigeon man, not in a sense where I'm surrounded by pigeons, but what happened to his family?
But don't you want to be surrounded by pigeons?
I've been trying to talk my wife into letting me buy pigeons for quite some time, and it's not working out for me. That's all I've ever wanted is a little kid. It's a little fucking pigeon.
You know what they say though? Pigeons, it's the gateway to buying pterodactyls.
And that's what they say. I'm pretty sure that's why she says
you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't. I heard it on the internet
science.
one time, so it's science bitch.
Science bitch.
If you think about it, people want to feel connected, and so if you don't feel connected with people, you'll find that connection elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it comes down to. It like you're not turning into Pigeon Man, you're wanting connection, and that just makes you human, just like Vincent. And whether your connections with birds, like Pigeon Man, or other things, family, friends, food, wherever your connection is, that's what you want. And that's what you need.
Absolutely. And it's not so much that I'm afraid of losing. It's like, I'm like, what took it to turn him that way, to turn him completely against people? Wasn't an attack like, cause he mentions it. He was like, I just understood pigeons better as a kid. I love birds. He was like, that's all I wanted to be around. But you walk around, like I talked about it when I was up in Charlotte and when you guys lambasted me for not saying hi. And we'd see it in Orlando. Had to slide that one over this. That's Julian 1, Sean 1, Ty still 0. Just keeping count. Keep the score.
Shut up. Ty's gonna have to run around naked.
Oh shit! I mean, he's already
skunk him.
Nobody's wearing pants anyways, boys. So
that's
all
true.
we're seeing is nips, and well, we haven't seen any nips yet.
Well, I am seeing
Part
Ty's wiener right now,
Ooh.
And if you want to send him your wiener, don't forget the email that we listed above. Right,
and that email address will be in the description.
Yes.
Below. But it's just seeing, like, you drive through any major metropolitan area, you see the homeless situation. Sometimes, depending on where you're at, it's massive. Sometimes it's very small. Being in Orlando, it was a lot more than I saw when I was in Charlotte, and they are super aggressive in Orlando. Like, to the point, I think a heat has a lot to do with it, because when you're outside all day and you're fucking your noodles baking all day, I would be angry too. But it's just like that scene alone, like I didn't notice that when I was a kid, but it's just like looking at that now, like what was the final straw for him? What was the thing that broke the pigeon's back, that sent him over the edge? And he was like, fuck it, I'm done with people. All I want to deal with is just my birds on the top of, I got something in my eye. It's not a tear, but it's it's just,
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Well, once we get to the next episode, I'm pretty sure one of us or all three of us is going to cry.
We'll all have points on the board. If Ty doesn't cry, then he's definitely getting skunked.
Well, I'm writing the points down, and he's not getting any points tonight, boys. So we're good.
Yeah. To answer your question, that I feel like that's tied to what Pigeon Man says to Arnold right before he leaves. Like, he thanks Arnold for teaching him that some people can be trusted.
Yes.
Like, he had to feel so alone that there was no one he could trust, that he then turned to the birds. He then turned to the pigeons because no one else was willing to connect with him.
Yeah.
If he had someone like Arnold back then, maybe. And maybe he doesn't live there. Maybe he just is there all the time to take care of the birds, but maybe he lives elsewhere. We don't know. But yeah, so all the birds surround him and grab what you think are buttons, but are actually rings that are tied to his jacket, and they fly off. And that creepypasta I feel like you were coming on to is that Vincent actually committed suicide, but Arnold couldn't understand that, so he just envisioned him flying away instead.
Oh, dude, that's a lot deeper than I thought you were going to go. Now I'm really going to cry. Ty, thank you.
Well, luckily,
this is what he does.
Well, luckily, Craig Bartlett.
Try doing this every week with him.
You cry all the time.
All the time. But Craig Bartlett debunked that several times. Like, he saw it on Reddit, and so he kept going on Reddit and debunking it. But people just want to believe what they want to believe. So he actually got onto, like, I think it was like a BuzzFeed interview. And he goes, I wish people would stop saying, like, Pigeon Man killed himself. He's going to be in my movie. So he actually comes back in Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie.
That movie made me cry, too. I'm just going to put it out there. A movie made me cry.
Well, we still got to cover it. So, but yeah, like, the last thing he says is always wash your berries before you eat them.
And fly towards them.
It's pronounced testicles. All right. Like, let's be mature humans. Let's be mature humans. All right,
don't
guys.
Call them nuts. Don't call them berries.
Yes. Always wash your berries.
Sean's at 2, Ty's at 0.
Oh, Ty. If this is soccer, you're fucked. No lube.
I'll come back.
So as we start to wind down here, man, I would love to know you guys' thoughts, where you would rank this as far as, I don't want to say against Hey Arnold episodes, because you guys have only done a couple on your show, and this is the first time I've done any kind of review. I try to stay away from these because it's very hard to not only give you an unbiased opinion, but you pick these episodes because you have a bias towards them, right? So it's very hard for me to just sit back and look and hit it for what it's worth, vice what I'm taking from this. But I would love to know you guys' two thoughts on the episodes, what you guys took away from it, and what do you think as far as this episode goes, as far as legacy or whatever you want to call it, whatever douchey word you want to put out there, and say, where does this one stand as far as messages, stories, episodes? Where does this one sit for you guys in Hey Arnold?
So I approach these episodes like I do whiskey. I don't have this is an absolute favorite. This is what I'm always going to want to go to. I appreciate what each one can bring to the table. It's like, I don't have this one dish. I don't, like my kid, just want Walmart cake. No, I appreciate what different cakes can bring to the table. So I love, I appreciate a global cuisine. So same.
Your kid's got a point, by the way.
He can go fuck himself. I love you. Teddy, if you're listening to this, Daddy loves you.
I so badly want Ty to get skunked, but I don't know. He has said a lot of gems just now. What are we gonna do?
But
keep him at 0.
So Pigeon Man, I feel like, has a legacy to it, because it definitely depicts really the fallacy of man is that you want connection, but you refuse to connect with people based off biases. And I think that's a classic, timeless tale to tell.
Yes.
Beautiful. What the hell am I supposed to say after that? I mean,
show your nips.
Yeah. Well, is this a live Reddit poll? Do we want right or left? I'm not seeing any votes come through. I'm very confused about the platforming here.
I think that's what it means to say both. Both is good.
You know, yeah. Yeah, I think Ty hit a lot of good points, and I think it helps define the difference between being alone and loneliness. Mm-hmm. I think we often kind of conflate those words. But that human connection piece, Ty, I think you really hit home there, and it's something now more than ever that we've been wanting to lean into, just given the circumstances of the times of the earth, as it were.
The circumstances.
Circumstances. What did I say?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, that's literally like, if this was,
I thought it was a cum joke. I always think it's a cum joke. I never know. Yeah.
Sprinkler, ladies and gentlemen, sprinkler.
The sprinkler. The viscosity of this lollygag sprinkler is the message I took away from this episode.
There's cum everywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
There is cum everywhere. Internal cum. I felt a lot of elation.
Remember that scene in Dumb and Dumber where he's taking a shit and the toilet breaks, and then he's like, "There's shit everywhere, all over the walls,
everywhere."
There's literally cum all over the walls.
Yes, the Bob Saget, rest in peace, shit everywhere.
I really, man, I hope this doesn't bar us from any kind of sponsorship deals.
We beg for sponsors every episode, and I'm
one of my favorite
realizing
parts.
that. Yes, we're just going to drive this into the ground.
Yeah.
That's the idea, right, Ty?
Exactly.
All right,
We can get canceled. We've won.
I cook for a living. They really can't cancel me. I'd love to stay home more, as long as I got a paycheck. But nonetheless, man. So some of the things I took from this. One, I think Hey Arnold started the trend of hating pineapple on pizza. I really think that's where it started.
I'm going to disagree with you there, because he doesn't say he doesn't like it. He says it's strange. He goes, "Oh, this is strange." Like, he's not disgusted.
He's seeding,
like,
seeding the future generations. That's what he's doing.
Is this a weird thing to say?
Yes.
Most people hate, or yes, probably it will be. Most people hate or love pineapple on pizza. I think it's fine.
I do too. I enjoy it. It's like I don't go to my way, but if I see it, I'm like, I want to fancy.
Julian, thank you. You make me feel so validated.
I will
working
admit,
with this guy.
I used to be a pineapple hater. It was one of those things where it's like, you wouldn't put pepper in a fruit cocktail. Why are you putting pineapple on a pizza? But it's what I found is what I really don't like is I don't like when the pineapple's baked into the pizza, because then you get the pineapple juice. So now you have pineapple bread with marinara. And it's like, if you just top it with pineapple after it's been baked, it's not soaking the bread. And I feel like you can then appreciate the flavor.
So you're at -1 points right now. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
You're only winning if this is golf, Ty. And guess what? It's not. Because golf has balls and this podcast is about testicles.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's called a callback. They said it couldn't be done, but it was done. So obviously these two takes that I'm going to have are completely just trying to make a joke. But the pineapple one I thought was really funny, especially in today's day and age and climate, where if you see somebody post a pizza and it's got ham and pineapple, Jesus Christ, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to get rough for at least the first 1,000 comments. Some of them are pretty funny. Some of them are just really mean. The other one I thought of was when you had mentioned it earlier about Arnold sending a pigeon over to tell Gerald. And I got to say, not only did he seed future generations for the do I eat it, do I not eat it pineapple discussion debate of the next century, but it was also, man, did Arnold start the hipster movement? I mean, you get this sense of he's got this grungy era. Obviously, it was done during that era. But you see all of this shit popping up, especially during COVID, man. I don't know how many people I saw starting to make sourdough bread when COVID started. It's just like, where did all these girl genes come from? Why am I seeing so many testicles everywhere? Why am I seeing so much sourdough? Why? And I wonder.
Give yourself a point real quick, because you just leveled up. You said the word that you didn't want to say. And I'm proud of you.
That was very mature of you. I
think very mature.
I feel like we've covered a lot of ground here, boys. My mom would for sure be proud. Dad, not so much. He's always disliked me. But
so you're saying you were confused at how football heads became so popular.
Yeah, I really wonder, man. It's like, obviously, like I said, those two were jokes, but looking at this from a real sense, like a real person just giving an honest opinion, man, I don't see this episode. I don't save that bird, right? I don't see this episode. Then I don't watch this episode 20 plus years later. I don't talk to you guys. We don't sit here and have a honest discussion about what this show really means. Like the messages this show put through on a week-to-week basis to kids. And you watch that as an adult, you're like, holy fuck, not only does this shit hold up, there is a message here that crosses generations, it crosses gender, it crosses fucking nationality. I mean, you could literally take this and put it and plug and play anywhere in the world. And I think somebody is going to take the positives from this, that, hey man, we're not all that different. We're not all that. Everything that separates us isn't just something like, oh man, you look the way you look, you sound the way you sound, all this other, we're the same thing, yet we can be Pigeon Man, but we can be Arnold, right? It's just,
yeah, you can be alone or you can bring hope.
Yes. Like I said, boys, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue this talk over on the Whiskeylodeon podcast, man. We're going to be covering Arnold's Christmas. Boys, this has been a fucking blast, man. I know this is only part one of the second part, or vice versa, or companion piece, whatever you want to call this. This has been a real treat, man. I knew listening to you guys for the last couple months, weeks, whatever it's been, that I felt like we would vibe pretty well. I think we did a pretty good job, even though Ty's losing. But I think we've covered quite a bit of ground.
We're all winning here.
Well, I mean, if you look at my scoreboard, your son is winning. He's on the board.
He's on the board.
He's on the board, and I don't think it's going to get any better. Maybe.
And he's not even here. Where is he, Ty? How is he not here?
Eating Walmart cake.
He's in Walmart eating Walmart cake. Wow.
Well, before we wrap up, I'm going to ask this. Did you watch Rugrats growing up as well?
I watched them when I got a little bit older. I didn't watch them. So I was born in '89. So we didn't really watch. I was without Hey Arnold, I would be a Cartoon Network kid through and through. Hey Arnold is what brought me back. And that led me into so many shows. So I didn't see it as a little kid growing up, but I did see it maybe preteen, teenage time.
Okay. Because Craig Bartlett was one of the head writers of Rugrats.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think he took from Rugrats that he then put into Hey Arnold? And what do you think he had himself that he was like, I want to put this in my own show?
I want to say real world experiences, just because being a new dad and seeing all the shit I've seen and then hearing the stories, because it's kind of hard saying I take my honest opinion and say that, because I'm very, like I said, I'm very malleable. So I've had so many of these guys and gals on that have worked on these shows, and I've heard their perspectives, and I don't know what's my perspective anymore while looking at that show and looking at the shows he's put on, or it's stuff that I've heard that I now see like, oh, fuck. Why didn't I see that? So I don't really know if it's my perspective anymore, if that helps. So, I want to say real world real world shit going on, I guess, is what I mean, making it for kids or making it for people, I guess.
It's relatable, right? I mean, I think he created Rugrats, and that became the heart of Nickelodeon. And then he made Hey Arnold, and that kind of became the soul.
Yeah.
Damn, I need to step up my points.
Yeah, because Sean's at 3 now.
Sorry, Ty.
Suck it, Ty.
Oh, did I say sorry? I meant suck it. I'm slurring a lot. Sometimes I mean suck it, and I'm say sorry. I'm an apologetic drunk. What can you say?
The Canadian part of you.
So how do we get both of these in at one time?
That's straws, double straw, lady and trampet. Wait, that's what spaghetti involves.
Yes. Spaghetti and meat testicles. Yes.
Meat bears.
Ty, you were alluding to something. What is that thing that they brought over from both shows?
Well, I definitely think it brings a lot of heart that each character has their own follables. Like you have the strengths of Tommy, but he also has weaknesses. You have Chucky, Phil, and Lil. Like they all have something. And I feel like he does that really well in Hey Arnold to another level, to the point that like Harold is a total piece of shit, but he's scared of Helga. Helga is a bully, but she's in love. Why? Because she has never felt seen. And then when she could be seen was by being the bully to protect herself. And it's very humanizing. It's one of those things where it's like Rugrats, it was fun adventures. And he took that heart of the adventure, but then gave it soul.
Yes. Flaw in the characters. When you can see yourself in these characters, I think this show speaks leaps and bounds. I mean, like I said, this has been a real treat, man. I can't wait to pick it up here in just a second, man. Any last words? Where can folks go and find you guys? Obviously, the links will be in the description below. But where would you like us to send people if they say, "Hey, man, I like that shit you do. I like the stuff you write. I like the stuff you say. I love your podcast." Where can they find you guys?
They can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Whiskeylodeon, and you can download Whiskeylodeon wherever you get your podcasts.
And Sean, you got any messages or anything you want to put out there? I mean, like I said, you're fucking controlling the scoreboard right now. It's 3 to 1 to 1. So, and Ty's got. I
just want to say thank you. This has been a blast. Fun, your backdrop, we haven't even talked about that. Like, I am just nerding out. Like, if I'm not making eye contact, it's because I'm looking at Michelangelo back there. There's a lot of Ninja Turtles back there, and I am a huge fan. So thank you for being who you are.
Oh, no problem, man. And this is all going to change. You'll hear it first on this episode when it drops, man. So we're going to do on the back wall here. We're going to take that and we're going to gut it out, and I'm going to paint it all white from the top up. And then every character that I've ever loved from any show, I'm actually going to project on the wall. I'm going to trace it, draw it, paint it. So we're going to have a mural of every fucking cartoon character I can possibly fit. And it's probably a good 4.5 feet to the ceiling. So it's going to go all up. And then the dynamics kind of going to change because I've got some more soundproofing. So it's going to get a lot better than it is. I love this stuff, but with anything, time kind of changes, and you want it to, when I come in here, I feel like I'm a kid again, right? I see all the shit. My wife calls it a sickness. I see all the shit that I've collected throughout the years. And
I'm sorry you have a passion. Oh, what a sickness.
Oh, she's a great person though. It's funny because it's like, all right, we need to not buy so many pops, and this is last year. She's like, don't buy so many pops. I'm like, okay. And then she gets me one like 2 weeks later for my birthday. I'm like, I thought you said no more. What's going on here? And she's like, well, I said you, not me. I was like, got it.
She's got a point.
All right, man. Well, like I said, this has been a blast. Make sure you go and check over the next episode, because like I said, we're going to be covering Arnold's Christmas, man. He's been Ty. He's been Sean. I almost did. I've been Julian, because I usually don't have 3 folks on at one time, including myself. But he's been Ty, man. He's been Sean. I've been Julian. This has been a What's in My Head podcast, and this has been another piece of your childhood. Good night. My guest next week is Tom Sito. Enjoy this teaser. So with him being recast, is the other cast members the same? I mean, was it always Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, and John Lithgow? Yeah.
It was always Eddie Murphy. The scene where Shrek and Donkey are walking, and they're talking about ogres. Ogres are like onions.
Yeah.
What? He says, no, not waffle. He says, no, they have layers. That's like one of the oldest scenes. That was like written 6 years, I think, before the movie came out, and all the changes and all the fixes and revisions they went through. That scene stayed. It always stayed all the way through, which was nice. With Lord Farquhar, he was originally. I think they were looking at a few people. They were looking at William Shatner. They were looking at a few other actors and all about it, and they went up with I think John Lithgow did the voice.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
But what's funny is that I actually named Lord Farquhar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Farquhar, because his original in the first draft script, his name was Evil Lord Hamilton, and I was like, well, that's nice, but Hamilton's not funny. It's a nice name, but it's not funny. And I actually had a grad student in my class in college named Mark Farquhar. And I said, Farquhar is funny. Farquhar is a good name. and actually, Mark really loves it and everything. He's a professor now himself, and he answers his phone like, Evil Lord Farquhar.